Welcome to Jaja Talk Podcast. Real stories, real talk. Today's episode is Behind the Perfect Crime, from conflict to contract killing. Okay, and today we'll be discussing a complex and mysterious murder case from Songkhla. Because of this intricacy, we invite a special guest, which is a legal expert. Will be joining us today to analyze and discuss the case. Please welcome Mr. Mrs. Dr. Professor Madam Lieutenant Peimika ค่ะ
Hi, it's my pleasure to be here. So let's begin with the case today.
Okay, before we get into the legal side, let's start with what actually happened. This case began with what seemed like a normal relationship. The victim was Kun Riu Prae, a female pharmacist who was in a relationship with the son of a woman named Juri. In fact, they were planning to get married. However, things were not as peaceful as they appeared. There were growing tensions within the family, particularly between the victim and her future mother-in-law. Reports suggest that the relationship was strained with ongoing personal conflicts and dissatisfaction, and over time, this conflict escalated. Instead of resolving the issue, the situation took a much darker turn. The mother-in-law allegedly decided to hire a gunman to kill the victim.
So this was not a spontaneous crime, but it was a planned contact killing involving multiple people.
Yeah, exactly. The day of the incident, the victim was shot and killed. At first, the case did not immediately reveal the full truth. But as the investigation progressed, authorities discovered that this was part of a larger criminal plan. Not only was there a hired gunman, but there were also individuals involved in coordinating the act and helping to conceal the crime.
And perhaps the most shocking part is what happened after the murder.
Oh, right.
Following the murder and the gunman confession that Juri hired him, Juri attempted to escape and cover up the crime by forging a death certificate, making it appear as if she were dead. Her daughter also aided in this escape and document forgery process. This transformed the case from a simple murder into a multi-layered criminal case involving murder, instigation, and document forgery.
Okay, so the key legal questions that I want to know is that if someone who doesn't commit the crime themselves, will they be still held equally responsible?
Yes, and that's exactly where Thai criminal law become important. We need to determine who is the principal offender, who is the instigator, and who is the supporter, because each law has different level of punishment.
So that now we understand what happened, let's break this down from a legal perspective. So who is actually responsible for this case?
Great question. According to Thai criminal law, first, the gunman, the person who carried out the killing, is directly guilty under Section 288, which is the offense of murder, or we can call offenders. The penalty is death, life imprisonment, or 15 to 20 years in prison.
Well, that part seems straightforward. But what about Juri, the person who ordered the killing?
That where Section 84 comes in. In this case, Juri, the mother-in-law, is considered an instigator. Even though she did not commit the act herself, the law treats her as equally responsible because she caused the crime to happen.
So legally, ordering the crime is almost the same as committing it.
Exactly. In fact, in many cases, the instigator may be seen as even more blameworthy because they planned and initiated the crime. So the punishment is the same as the person who committed the act. Then we have other individuals involved in the operation, such as coordinators or helper. If they share the same intention and actively participated, they may be considered as conspirators under Section 83. If their role was more limited, for example, providing support or assistance by supplying vehicle or gun, they may fall under Section 86 as accomplices.
But this case didn't stop at murder. There was also an attempt to cover it up. After the murder, there was an attempt to forge a death certificate to make it appear as if the suspect had died. This introduces a completely new set of criminal offenses.
Since a death certificate is an official government document, forging is falls under Section 265. This can result in up to 10 years imprisonment.
Finally, anyone who helped the suspect avoid arrest or punishment, for example, by creating this false identity or pretending they were dead, may be liable under Section 189, which criminalizes assisting an offender. So this penalty is generally up to 2 years imprisonment, a fine, or both. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct.
So this is actually more than just one crime.
Yes, this case can be analyzed as at least 3 layers of criminal offenses. First is murder, second is forgery and official document, and lastly is assisting the offender and obstructing justice. So what is important here is that criminal liability is not limited to the person who commit the act only, it extends to the person who ordered it, the people who help carry it out, and the people who help cover it afterward.
From a policy perspective, there's a few key improvements that could help prevent cases like this. Well, I have two main keys here. So first, I think we should strengthen the verification system for the official documents, especially by using digital tools to detect forged records more effectively. Second, there should be stricter measures against instigators, not just in terms of punishment, but also in early detection of suspicious behavior in high-risk situations. Well, the Songkhla case reminds us that crime is often more complex than it appears, involving planning, collaborations, and concealment.
And legal responsibility extends far beyond the person who commit the act.
Alright, that's for Jaja Talk today. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.